Hello everyone. Happy Friday. This is Jennifer Sinceri, and I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator. It is Friday, August 29th, 2025, and we are going to make some autumn-themed cards today. I am using a new phone. I switched from my Android to an iPhone, and let me tell you, it looks different. It looks different. It looks smaller to me. So I hope you guys can see all right. Once you come on, would you please let me know that you are here? You can give me a comment and say that you're here and where you're from. I always like to interact with my viewers. So we are going to make 3 cards tonight, and I've got a 4th card to show you. And I am using all new products this evening. So first of all, let's just do a little bit of housekeeping. I'm just trying to make sure I'm in the right place. It looks like I am. Okay, and I see the live button. All right, so if you are not already a follower of my Facebook page or my YouTube channel, would you go ahead, please, and hit the like or follow button, and that way you're going to get notifications every time I go live, okay? Also, you're going to want to join my email list. So this is my business email, and I send out information on in-person classes, sales, promotions, special events. And so you'll want to send me an email and say, Jennifer, add me to your list. All right. And then, oh, and by the way, I am located in Elk Grove, California. I'm close to Sacramento, and I do host monthly card making classes in my home in person. So this is going to be our next paper pumpkin kit, and it is you have until September 10th to subscribe to this kit. You'll get a couple of little sneak peeks down here. Let's see. These are the coordinating items that we're actually using this evening, but you get a little sneak peek. You can see some coordinating envelopes there for that kit. All right, I'm not seeing any comments yet, so if you guys could let me know that everything's okay, that would be great. Like I said, I am using a new phone, and it just looks kind of wonky to me. All right, and then if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you would like to get the next catalog, this is our mini catalog, and it is holiday themed. There's also some things that are not holiday themed. Well, hello there, Lori. I'm just trying to, it's just weird. I cannot see. I don't know that I like using this phone. I'm using my iPhone, and it just looks so different on my laptop than when I was using my Android. Hopefully you guys can see okay. Anyway, if you don't have a holiday catalog, please shout out to me and let me know that you would like one. And then my next in-person class is going to be September 13th at 9 a.m. and again at 1 p.m. It's the same class. My classes are $20, and you get to make 5 cards. And I run my card classes like a card buffet, so there are several different designs to choose from. And so, like I said, I'm in Elk Grove, California, close to Sacramento. All right, and then I do have a special event coming. This is going to be an in-person stamping retreat. It's scheduled for February, so that we have lots of time, but the space is limited. So if you want to attend this event, it is $96. That's going to include breakfast, lunch, snacks, 8 projects, a swag bag full of goodies, product, and gifts. $50 deposit will hold your spot. And you can make payments if you want to, but I do need the final payment by January. All right. We're going to be using items from the spring mini catalog when that is live. Okay. And then these are our catalogs that we have. This one is going live on September 3rd. Yep, September 3rd. All right. So if you need to get one of these, let me know. And this is our annual catalog. This one is good till May. All right, let's get started. Hopefully you guys can see everything. Can you let me know that you guys can see okay? Hi, Catherine. Happy Friday. Okay, so I am going to play with some autumn themed products. I can't show you the catalog yet until the catalog goes live, but we're playing with Amber Autumn. All right, that is a bundle. And I also pulled autumn trees. These are from a suite. It's a mega suite. So it has 2 bundles. Both have dies. I'm going to show you. It does look like a tiny screen. This is using my iPhone. And so it's just really, really small. So I apologize. I might have to go back to using my Android. This die is amazing. We're going to use this on a card. And then we've got some other fun dies. May need to zoom in if coloring. So I don't know how I can zoom in. I think you guys need to zoom in. I'm sorry. Definitely going to need, I think, to change my phone for next time. So this die cuts out a textured tree. You get to cut it out with this die. That's really nice. This cuts out leaves, which I'm going to show you. There's even this really cute deer piece. Here he is right here. Look at those sweet little deer. Okay. And there's a couple other dies. I'm not going to show them all to you. This is just what I have out right now and what I used on our cards. Okay. All right. So let's get started. All right, we're going to do the easy one first. They're not difficult. It's just some of them, 2 of them are going to have a little bit of coloring. This one is, I already did the coloring for you. So early espresso. Let me grab my bone folder. All right, and I always like to burnish the creases so that I get a nice crisp fold. And we're going to use some Cajun Craze, and then the designer series paper that goes with this. Like I said, it's going to coordinate with this month's paper pumpkin kit. So if you order this suite or some of the products on September 3rd and you subscribe to the paper pumpkin kit, you'll be able to stretch your cards and get more cards, because the stamps that go with the paper pumpkin kit are going to also go with these stamps. The paper will coordinate with your kit. You're just going to have so much more to play with. All right. Hi, Mary Lou. How are you? Looks like I got some frayed edges here, so let's just trim those off. It's time to change the blade again. I apologize, you guys. Here I thought I was going to use my new phone and it was going to be all good. And now it's like super tiny. You guys can't see. All right, so that is the card base. And then I ended up taking circle punches. Okay, so I've used the 1.5. Hi, Shelly. I used the 1.5 punch. And I pulled the 2 3/8 punch. And I used the 2 3/8 to cut both of these circles out. So we've got a little fox on there. And then we've got a little scene with a pheasant. The pheasant is actually going to get covered up. All right. So we're just going to, I like to lay things out first before oops, we want to put this little strip behind. We're going to put this strip on here just to break it up. So let me put that on. It's just cardstock. So that's a great way of using up cardstock scraps. Use a little strip. I've got a bum nail. I was supposed to get my nails done, and my nail lady was sick, and so I have a yucky nail. All right, so we're gonna put those cutie pies right there. And then I was also we have this really cool textured, look at that, textured ribbon. This is like super cool. So I thought I would add that. I thought I would put a little bit of that on here, but I'm not sure if I don't know. It does give some interest and texture. Yeah, maybe we will. Okay. So I'm just going to put my Stampin' Seal Plus right on top of that cardstock strip. And then we're going to lay this on top. Texture is a great way to add interest to your cards. And then we're going to just cut that off right there. Okay. Let me hold that up so you guys can see. Okay, now you can see my adhesive, but it's going to get covered up with all the things that we're doing here. So don't worry. And then that was the smaller punch. I'm actually taking an idea from the catalog, and then I changed it up a little bit and made it my own. And so we're going to cover that little pheasant, and I already cut out a deer. So let's put these guys on. And I think I'm going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals to this. Give it a little bit more flair. I cannot believe that the screen is so small. Frustrating. So on my Android, I have to use an app to allow the picture to be landscape because it won't do it on its own anymore. Facebook kind of changed things. And so I was saying, oh, I'm going to use my iPhone so I don't have to use the app. And now it's super tiny and you guys can't really see. So I can't win. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. All right. Spread these out. And then this guy's going to go right there. And I think I'm just going to put some adhesive, and I'll put one. I don't know if I need a whole one. We'll just put like a little bit. Hi, Patty. Happy Friday. I bet everyone is super excited. It's the weekend. I know I am. I have been dragging my body, my carcass, out of bed the last 2 days. I've been so tired. Okay, so I put a little Stampin' Dimensional in between, and I used some of my Stampin' Seal Plus to get onto these pieces. Thank you, Patty, for sharing the video. I always appreciate when you do that. You are so good at that. Thank you. Appreciate that, friend. That helps people find me. All right, and we're going to add this cute little deer. This deer is from the Autumn Trees. It's right there. Okay, and I colored it in advance to save time with Stamping Blends. And I used crumb cake, light and dark. Okay, so there you can see the little deer. All right, holding that up close so you guys can see it better. And then we're going to add some. We're going to add some of these guys. These are called the streaked dots. This is part of the suite. I pulled these too because I wasn't sure. These are Cajun Craze and Gold Dots. They're from another suite in the new catalog. Whoops. But these go with the darker browns of my card. So we're going to use that. And We're gonna put one here, and we'll put one here. This is a great masculine card. Okay, it's very simple, but I like it. Okay, and then I might add in a little, I could do a little bow. It is masculine looking, but I feel like it needs a little something more. You know me, I don't like super simple cards. That's not going to show up very well, but we do have new baker's twine. Let me pull some of that. It's Mossy Meadow and Early Espresso. That would be perfect. So this is in the new catalog. That's super exciting. So let's use the Early Espresso. Okay, and I'm gonna make my double bow like I always do. Got little bits on my fingers. I was using an adhesive sheet for one of our cards, prepping it. Okay. So I just wrap it around my fingers to make the bow, the loops. And then I'm going to grab another piece. This is when you need a buddy to help you, because otherwise you end up using your mouth. You have to have very coordinated fingers. Everyone has their own way of making bows. I have seen people use forks. I've seen people use bow makers. All sorts of gadgets and gizmos. All right, and I'm going to double knot that. And then I'm going to trim our edges. Kind of looks like a spider right now. But I'm so glad we have colored linen thread, you guys. I love it. I'm going to stock up on these because I see this being used in lots of card making. All right, let me grab a glue dot. Glue dot, where are you? There you are. These guys come in kits, and I save these for the really thin baker's twine or linen thread bows that I make. Whoops. All right, I feel like that helps fill in some of that space. What do you guys think? Super simple. All right. And then, you know, inside it says, "You're simply the best." And you could just say, "Grateful for you. Blessed to have you in my life." There's some really nice sentiments on here. All right, so that's card number 1. Now we're going to step up our game a little bit, and we're going to make one that's got a little bit more to it. All right, I'm going to have to sit down for this one because I'm going to need to color. But what I ended up doing was I took a gold foil sheet and I used that beautiful die I showed you at the beginning. But what I did was I cut my panel and I put it down on an adhesive sheet this time. I tried to think ahead. So we sell these guys, okay? They're adhesive sheets and you get 12 of them. It's kind of like contact paper in a way. You peel it off, you put your paper down, and then you run it through your cut and emboss machine, and it'll cut the die out for you, but you've got this backing on the back, and when you peel it off, this is going to be sticky. Okay, let's see if I can do it without making a mess. I tend to not use this because I just feel like I get clumsy and I get the stuff all over me. But whenever I'm doing intricate dies, I'm always saying, "Oh man, I should have used an adhesive sheet." So I just got to peel the back off. Let's see if I can do that. With witnesses here, watch, it's not going to work. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I'm going to go gentle because I don't want to tear my die. And it's sticking to my fingers. But this is going to make it so much easier. I don't have to use that liquid glue and do little dots everywhere. And I forget how much these cost. They're pretty reasonable. There. All right, let's see if I can do this without messing it up. Now, when I was taking off all the little pieces, I did peel a little bit of my gold off right there, but it's going to get covered up. That was actually pretty easy. Check that out. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. All right, now I cut a piece of DSP. That's one side. Patty says, you got this. So we're going to put that in the center. I'm sticky. All right. Okay, and then I've got my image here, and I'm going to go ahead and sit and color that. Oh, I wish I could get, you know what? I wonder if I could get down closer so you guys can see. Ooh, sorry guys. I'm just trying to get closer. How's that? Does that help at all? Can you guys see that a little bit better? Let me see if I can make this go down. Watch out, I might drop you. Oh, look, I got closer. All right. There we go. Hopefully that helps. Okay. It's in my phone, it doesn't look small, but on the screen on my laptop, it looks small. So I apologize, ladies. Thank you for hanging with me. Okay, I am going to go in with dark Cajun Craze. Now, let's talk about how to use these guys. Okay, we've got a brush end and then a bullet end. You don't need to press hard on these. Okay, just a gentle hand is all you need. And I like to go in wherever you see lots of black lines, I go in with the dark color, okay? And I'm just gonna add color. Now these are alcohol-based markers. They will dry fast, but they will blend color, okay? Now we are getting rid of our Stampin' Right markers. Which I used those too, but the Stampin' Blends are really popular, and that seems to be what is going to be our exclusive marker now. The Stampin' Right markers were in the last chance. I didn't look today to see if they were still there, if they're still available. They were a few days ago. For those of you that might want to snag some. Okay, so I'm just going over. I know it looks kind of wonky right now, but trust me, it's going to look better when we add in the light color. Okay. Every time I use these, they never, if I'm doing mass producing, they're all kind of different. They never all look the same. It just, and that's okay. I think that's the beauty of card making, is that they're all unique and special. All right, so now I always cap because I don't want it to dry out, and I'm going to go in with my light. I'm going to use the brush end. This is the one that people usually end up messing up. You go to the side and you're going to just use a soft stroke like you're painting. Okay, we don't need to push hard. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of going over the dark and it's going to blend the color. You can sometimes do like a light dabbing. Now it looks really dark, but it's going to dry. This is a darker orange color. I did this purposely. I wanted a richer color instead of bright pumpkin pie, which is our orange. This is more like a rust color. I'm going very lightly. We don't need to be rough. I've had to replace several of my pens now because they have been abused at classes. Okay, there's our two main pumpkins. All right, I'm going to hold it up so you can see it better. You guys see that? Hi, Gail. I'm using my new phone and I don't like it. Sorry, guys. All right, now I'm going in with some crumb cake and I'm going to do the stem. I picked up the light one, but that's okay. I will go back in with a little bit of dark. And do those little curlicues. Oh, I missed a little spot right there. There we go. All right, let's go in with our dark and just add some definition on those stems. Now, I think I'm gonna do this backboard just all light Cajun Craze instead of dark. I'm actually using, oh, I'm gonna have to take my sweater off. It's cold usually in my craft room, but now I'm getting hot. I'm using basic beige cardstock, a little bit warmer color. And you can see I'm wearing my school t-shirt. I didn't change clothes from today. Let's see. Let's go with some Old Olive. And I'm gonna pull the dark one first. Okay, and I'm gonna do the veins of my leaves. Doesn't need to be perfect. And I am going to now grab the light. And I'm gonna fill that in. I'll hold this up so you guys can see it. So what's the temperature where you guys are at? If you are not in Elk Grove, what temperature are you guys having? We've been in 90s, low hundreds and 90s this week. I'm gonna do those. It's always fascinating to see what it's like in other parts of the world. Ohio is 57. I would appreciate 57 right now. if I have to go back to school, if school started, then it's not summer anymore. It should be fall now. All right, I'm going in with my dark crumb cake, and I'm just doing little polka dots on this part, the wheat. And I'm gonna just do the stems there. Okay, now I've got my Indian corn there, and what I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna take the light Cajun craze, and I'm just gonna do some little dots. Okay, and then I'm gonna go over it with light crumb cake. And it works. Lightens it up, and it looks like corn kernels. So let me hold that up so you can see. Okay. All right, now there is a die for this, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do a quick fussy cut. And we're going to put this on here. And I've got my sentiment ready, and I've got some little leaves that I already cut out from the dies. So we're going to... I don't move my scissors, I just move the paper. Okay, I'm deep in thought. Does anybody have plans for the holiday weekend? Guys gonna do anything for Labor Day? How many of you are planning to do some crafting? Stamping? Sorry, I realized I wasn't in the view. Not too bad. Okay. All right, these guys are little oak leaves, I think, or something. And what I'm gonna do also, I'm gonna add in some of that really cute. We're gonna put it in behind it. I think I'm gonna move those. And we're gonna use some of this stuff. Where's the end? And let's put some adhesive on the back. And we're going to add some loops. All right, and then I'm going to add a little more adhesive. Actually, hold that down. I think, I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see it, don't worry. This will help hold it down too, that textured ribbon. I like that. That looks really cool. Now let's add in our leaves. Be careful because it will tear. I don't even think I got some on there. Nope, I didn't. It took my cardstock. All right, what I'm going to do, actually, let's grab the liquid glue. Let's grab that liquid glue. Yeah, it's really cool stuff, Lori. It's kind of a mesh. Yep. Oops. It is fun to work with. Sorry, I'm standing up and the camera's like right in my way. Nice thing about liquid glue is it dries clear. All right, and then we're going to add this. We got to cover that little bit up right there. I think we'll put that right there. I made a boo-boo on the other side. Let's pop this one up. Oh, I'm so glad you like this card. It is gorgeous. I don't know that I would do this card in a class because of the adhesive sheet, but it's definitely something you could do in your own crafting for sure. Now let's add in these guys. I think I want to go with these other ones that are more Cajun craze. Yeah, let's do those. Okay, I'm going to hold it up so you guys can see. It seems to be like microscopic in my laptop view. Okay. That's the card. Can you guys see the mesh? Like they would, they look like wood. Yeah, let me get them close. There's little bits of gold in them. Yep. And then, yeah, these kind of look like wood. You're right. All right, there's our second card. I'm loving this stuff. I love it. Okay, third card. Move this out of the way. Okay, we're going to do a tree. So I took an idea from the catalog. I started with that and then I kind of tweaked it again and made this one my own. All right, so we've got Mossy Meadow and Early Espresso and then this really pretty tree paper. Again, this is the, what's it called? It's called the Autumn Toile Designer Series paper. I said it right this time. All right, let me move those out of my way. Yeah, I'm not liking the iPhone to use for my videos. Not liking it because it's kind of in my way. can't see, and you guys can't see. Yep. So it's going to be back to the Android for lives. So weird. You would think it'd be the same. Unless there's a setting that I need to zoom in when but I've never had to zoom in on my phone to do a live, so that's kind of weird. If somebody watching this knows the answer to the dilemma, I would love to hear it. I'm just trimming off my little frayed ends there because when you cut as much cardstock as I do, you go through a lot of blades. Now, that in itself right there is beautiful. It's so pretty, and it has deer. It's just so pretty. And then what I did was I took the DSP and I turned it over and I cut out this tree. And you can see that there are little cutouts and there's some embossing on there, okay? So that's going to go on here. And then I've cut out some leaves. So we're going to add some leaves to this. Okay. Actually, I want to see it because my little saying is on Mossy Meadow also. So I want to make sure that we can see it. So we're going to add in some liquid glue. Okay. Welcome, Karen. Thank you for watching. Feel free to let us know where you're at. It's always fun to see where people are from when they're watching. Okay, do I have my tweezers close by? It doesn't look like it, so we're gonna just add those leaves on here. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. We're just adding some color to brighten it up. And then I'll add some more Cajun craze on the top. Okay, maybe a little bit right there. And I just used scraps to cut these out. My fingers are sticky. Okay. Who is ready for fall? I am. I'm ready to go to the pumpkin patch. I'm ready to go to Apple Hill up in Placerville and get apples and apple cider and see the colors on the trees. I usually decorate for fall on Labor Day weekend. But remember I told you that I am speaking at a women's retreat, which is next weekend. And so I am just trying to finish up some loose ends this weekend with that. And so I'm not going to get my house decorated for fall. It'll probably happen when I come home from the retreat. And that's okay. Have you guys decorated for fall yet? For me, it was always like, okay, I enjoy fall decorating. And so I love to have it up as long as I can. So I'll put it up in September, leave it in October and November, and then I take it down Thanksgiving weekend, and then I decorate for Christmas. And then the Christmas kind of changes into winter. I'll put the Christmassy things away, but I'll keep snowflakes and icicles out for winter. Okay, I might want to put a little more down here, but let's see. And I do have an image we're going to add to this. So we're going to put this here. Maybe put a little bit more of this over here. And you guys can cut this and make it work how you want it. Gail's ready for fall, but she's not going to decorate yet. I got it. All right, let me color this and then we'll add more to that. I'm going to hold that up so you guys can see. Can you just see the detailing on those leaves? Okay, so we've got a lot of nice texture on this card. All right, now let me color. And I'm going to use most of those same colors that I did before. Okay. Let's go with light mossy. Oh no, this is Old Olive. Oh, see, I can tell this one's been kind of abused. I'm gonna have to use the other end. I don't like to throw them away when one end works still. And you're thinking, what is she going to do with this? I'll show you. I'm just going over the black ink parts to give it some definition. Okay, let me show that to you. All right, and then we're going to, let's do the acorns. Now, because this is basic beige, I'm not using super dark colors because it's gonna make things look darker. So I'm not going to use early espresso on this. I'm going to go in on with the dark crumb cake. For the caps, the little hats. But if I used early espresso on this, it'd be super dark. So we're not going to do that. There's a very, very cute bundle that is a squirrel, and it's a punch this year, and I can't wait to play with that one. That one's going to be a lot of fun. There are so many beautiful products in this catalog, you guys. It was hard to be disciplined. There was a lot. There were some things I didn't care for, but there always is, because there are lots of different styles and interests. And I'm glad that they try to meet everyone's needs. But there were some really cute things. And what I do like is that there's stuff that doesn't have to be just for Christmas. It can be winter. And like, this isn't just Thanksgiving cards, it's just fall. So you're gonna use it a lot. Let's see, Lori's talking about how she likes fall. I'm gonna have to go back and read all your guys' comments because I'm not seeing them on my laptop, which is another reason why I don't like the iPhone. It's not showing me the comments. Such technology challenges, always something. All right, look at how beautiful that is. Isn't that pretty? All right, let me cut that out. So the colors I used were Old Olive, Cajun Craze, and Crumb Cake. Now there's a die for this, but I'm just going to fussy cut. Sometimes for me, it's just quicker to do the fussy cutting than to go get it, and lay it out, tape it, all the things. Thank you, Lori. Stampin' Up! Makes it so easy for us with beautiful artwork and high quality products. I love our stamping blend markers. A fussy cutter at my own heart, Lori. Sometimes I will use the dies, but sometimes it's just more bother to go grab them. Now, I actually went outside the lines on this a little bit, and it's okay. It's not a big deal. Okay. All right, so we're going to add this right here. And I didn't want to cover up our acorns completely, but let's see if I can. Then they're upside down if I do it this way. But I don't know. I think I like them going down more. Let's add some of this stuff to it. I want it so you can see it. don't like that side, but yeah, I don't like that side. There we go. Okay. And I'm thinking, do I want to pop that up? I'm going to put this on. Just going to eyeball it. And then we'll pop that up with some dimensionals. I'm probably using too many. I don't need that many, but I was trying to help secure some of that fun twine ribbon. You can fuss with it. Now, let's add in some of these guys. Or should we need to do the darker ones? I think let's do the darker ones. I'll hold this up so you guys can see it. Where do I want to put it? I'll put it down here. Okay. You guys see that? What do you guys think? All right, so that was these two guys and this guy. And then I did one more, and I did put this on my page. You guys might have seen it, but it's using the same supplies, the same suite. So I'll put it in there so you guys can see. Okay, what do you guys think? I think these came out really nice. Let me know which one is your favorite. Tree, gold, circles, or pumpkins. This is called the Autumn Toile Suite Collection, and it is a super suite. Okay. So we've got lots of texture on these cards. I'm really loving the, what's it called? Irregular weave trim. It is fun to play with. All right, so I'm going to hold these up. There's this one. Okay. There's this one. There's this guy with the gold. And then there's this one with the tree. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you had fun. And I hope you have a restful, relaxing weekend. All right. Make sure you drink lots of water. If you're in the heat like we are, stay inside where there's air conditioning. Hopefully you'll be able to do something creative and fun. I know I am looking forward to sleeping in tomorrow. All right, everyone. Happy Friday evening. Happy weekend. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please give it a thumbs up or a heart. And then if you would share the video, that would be awesome. And I'll see you next time, Lord willing, okay? All right, everyone, take care. Love you guys. Bye-bye.